Welcome everyone for the Axopar and BRABUS event here in Düsseldorf International Boat Show for 2024. And it's a special celebration, of course, because of our 10-year anniversary.
Sisu. It's the Finnish concept of stoic determination that fueled our 10-year adventure at Axopar. From the start, it's been more than boats. It's been about redefining innovation, turning the wisdom of the past into tomorrow's breakthroughs. A decade ago, we were just raw ambition and a vision. It was a time of immense effort, both physical and mental. We faced a tide of challenges. We wanted to prove an entire boating industry that we could do better, that we could turn our bold ideas into reality. Looking back at the Axopar Mark I's and the wisdom they've given us today, it's startling how far we've come in such short time. Yet, there was pride in that simplicity, pride in the progress we made that fuels our drive each morning to better and improve further on even the best of our creations. When we clinched the European Triple Awards for the Axopar 28, it felt surreal. A hat-trick. We were young pioneers, achieving a feat never before done in our industry. But we were so engrossed in our work that the true magnitude of our accomplishments didn't quite sink in. Like digging a trench, focused only on the next meter to be excavated, rarely pausing to look back and discover, well, even appreciate the ground we've covered. I take immense pride in our team and their dedication. We worked side by side through all weathers, sharing a vision that now commands respect. We've always aimed higher, strived to surpass our own benchmarks. We only compete against ourselves. Our focus is unwavering. Improve upon yesterday, deliver better today, innovate for tomorrow. Today we've earned the admiration of industry peers, a testament to our success. Where do we go from here? With the collective minds and hearts of our team, today with a decade of knowledge, the possibilities are boundless. What will we achieve in the next 10 years? Looking at the new groundbreaking Axopar 29, I really can't wait to find out. I'm Jan-Erik Viitala, founding partner of Axopar Boats.
"10 years, almost in a way getting emotional of how much we've been able to accomplish through our dealers, our customers, and through the devoted Finnish determination called SISU, to keep pushing boundaries and innovation in a today very competed market. This 10-year anniversary will be full of surprises, I promise you. These 10 years, celebration will actually go throughout the whole entire year. So we will not only be focusing on Düsseldorf, we will be showing you way more cool stuff throughout the entire year. Mainly keep a focus on these 4 locations. So Düsseldorf now, Palma, Mallorca in April. We will also be going for the Cannes International Yachting Festival, of course, and Fort Lauderdale in US. The growth and the success of Axopar has only come from our devoted Axoparians, customers, dealers, and suppliers who have been working together with us side by side in the highs and in the lows as we've grown together. And Axopar, you've been used to see anywhere around the world. But actually, it's pretty funny to realize how far in the world these boats actually have been taken. So the city views of Vancouver to the Chinaman's hat in Hawaii, going forward to Svalbard in the northernmost part of Europe, top of Norway, or going to very remote locations like Thailand. It's also very funny to see our boats being in ultra remote locations, having them around Korea, having them Taiwan, Vietnam, going forward to even having the boats in the utmost inhospitable areas in the world for those devoted fishermen where you can only access by air. Or having the boats very, let's say, interestingly launched in this, for example, in Mozambique. This boat actually works as a 5-star resort VIP shuttle for that safari company. But it's very interesting to see where the boats are actually being used all over the world today. A quick thought. How many Axopars do you believe we have produced, mainly of the 28s and the 37s, because those were the ones that started our company? How many have we produced in 10 years total? Any good guesses?
5,000.
5,000. That's a good? 8,000. Good guess? 10,000. We've made 6,000 boats. And this actually means that if you've ever seen a transport of a boat or an Axopar, if we have a truck that is loaded with 2 Axopars, if we line them up bumper to bumper, it would take you 13, 15 hours to walk past that line of boats. That's how many boats we've been doing. Another really interesting part, or an accomplishment in a way, really stopped even me in my tracks because we actually never really realized this. But when we're talking about dealers and customers supporting us by utilizing and using our products and buying our products, the one thing, do you guess how much resale we've been able to accumulate over these 10 years with Axopar? Wild guesses. Starting a company from zero, growing over time. But in 10 years' time, the company has been able to accrue 1 billion in resale value. So going back to the video, how excited we are about the future, because now Axopar has become a company where we can actually do whatever we want in a way, but we don't want to do that. We will only keep pushing on the products that we self-believe in. And we will push relentlessly to compete only against ourselves to make better products. Hence, the Axopar 29. One thing also during this year is that our company is going to go a big transition, or it's actually been doing this over the 10 years, But the number one change we're doing today is transitioning from a startup company into an industrialized large company, which means implementing all the structures you need in order to maintain high volume production and to maintain our customer promise of on-time deliveries with accuracy. But now, let's go for the world premiere of the Axopar 29. It's been called the Forerunner, it has been called the Original, and what I'm now referring to is the Mark 1 and Mark 2 of the Axopar 28. This boat made the company in the beginning. This boat we have been producing in the thousands. And for us to make a way of a third generation product is very challenging. Anyone knows that starting a boat from zero without having any sort of expectations is actually way, way, way easier to do than trying to reiterate your product over and over. So anyone in Porsche, BMW, Audi, they know this pain because you still need to stay true to your values. You still need to understand what your brand is all about and what your customers loved about the boat. Don't take anything away from that, but add what you learned over these 10 years. So we promised these in Cannes. We want to have a boat that is more striking. We want to create a boat with the same footprint of a 28, but still feel way more spacious, way more sociable. To do this with less fuel economy, even though we have a bigger boat, doing it and having more power available on the boats, or getting you more performance, probably is the right word, and having more options and being able to take the boat even out further regions of the world. So it's more of everything, but it's actually thanks to our customers, because our customers and their feedback has made us possible to make the 29, the boat it is, and we're revealing here today. We have two boats in the range to launch to you today, the Axopar 29 Cross Cabin and the Axopar 29 Santo. So let's go ahead. Thank you, everyone. We promised you more of everything. Here you get it, the Axopar 29 Santo and the 29 Cross Cabin. But if there is something I want to take, some key features, is that the boat feels today way bigger to drive, and it gives you a bigger boat driving experience. It has a way more pronounced hull, which means that it's capable of taking even heavier swells and heavier weather wherever they might be in the world. Also, walking around the boat, way easier. We have new sociable solutions on the Santo, which is the center seating area, which is a new one. Actually created, ready 1 week ago, so very late. But in a way, we wanted to show you this because it's so different from the standard layouts that you've been seeing. I will happily show you what it all is all about. And also the sociable seating in the foredeck. but also being able to take a 29-foot boat for less fuel for the same top speeds, or being able to keep a cruising speed between 22 knots and 32 knots without any change in liters per nautical mile. So you yourself can select the speed you want to drive. Turn over to the BRABUS Marine side, and we're going to be showcasing some really interesting new things on the BRABUS side. So it's my pleasure to introduce to the stage the CEO and owner, personal good friend of mine, Konstantin Bushman, to the stage. And Conti,
hello, Janne.
I have to tell you, there is one thing just looking at the newest brand video you've done. The sheer speed, how you have evolved BRABUS in the last 2 years is astonishing, and transferring it from an automotive company into a full luxury high-performance mobility company and brand. So congratulations for that. Unheard of in the industry.
Thank you very much. Janne, what can I say? Thank you very much. First of all, everyone, thank you very much for coming. It's such a pleasure to see you. I always say to our team that without them, without our customers, without you guys from the press, without our fans, all of the buildings at HQ, at BRABUS, at Axopar Boats, we just a series of empty buildings. We live through you. And I can still remember the first time we showed come up here with me.
Yeah.
I can still remember the first time we showed a boat together here at Düsseldorf. It was back there in the corner.
Yep.
In 2018.
Yes.
We did an announcement.
Yes.
I think there were 40 or 50 people there. I don't know if anybody understood what we're trying to do.
Yep. And I think there were pretty much a lot of doubters that, okay, this is just another yet car boat manufacturer collaboration that's going to be dying out in the next 3 months. Let's print a press review and call it a day.
Here goes another concept, exactly.
Yes.
Now, to be honest, I don't know if we knew what we were getting ourselves into back in the days. Because now, 7 years later, and some of you might know that sentence from me, I'm saying, if we had known, or if you had told me what would happen in the next 7 years with BRABUS Marine, with Axopar, I would have said, the stuff you're smoking, bring me some of it.
Yeah, that's true.
I need that shit.
So combination of German engineering and some Finnish perseverance, and I think we rub both off each other, so you get the perseverance and I'm getting the engineering side on it. It's very interesting to see how far we've come in these 7 years now. So here's for the topic of today.
Exactly. We have two beautiful new boats that we want to show you guys. We brought something that you know, in a bit of a different version, and an upgraded version, and we brought you something that none of you have ever seen before, I hope, because nothing leaked.
Yeah.
And it's big, but let's first get into the first boat, the brand new BRABUS Shadow 1000.
1000. the new BRABUS 1000. We're already produced and we have in production the Shadow 900. And following your philosophy of having different power outputs per engines on, for example, the G-Class, following the same idea with the Shadow. So the 1000 horsepower version is now for those that want to have more power, more performance than ever. And what we've actually done with the Shadow 1000, with the new V8 supercharged engines, is that we actually had a team of offshore racing world champions fine-tuning the hull, making modifications and lifters of 6-inch backset in order to fine-tune the handling, getting the boat dialed in. The Axopar 37 and the 37 hull is a phenomenal hull, but there was this ounce of more potential in there, more BRABUS, and that's what we did with the Shadow 1000.
And it is a cool number.
It is a cool number. It's a bit of a magical barrier to break. So for sure, the 1000 is for those that want to have raw power, brutal acceleration, they want to be traveling fast. It's a bit more brutish than the 900, but it's still for those that really want to have a very fun day out at sea.
But still, as all of our boats, fully functionally usable.
Yes,
cabins,
any day.
360-degree walkway.
Yes.
And very safe to handle.
Yes.
But a lot of you know this boat. It's the core boat in our fleet. It's going to remain the core boat in our fleet. And I'm very, very happy to see a lot of Shadow 900s out there in all the different colors. As you guys know, everything we do in the world premiere comes in, I don't think I'm saying too much.
No.
Black.
Black.
Because we just love it and we can't help ourselves. Yeah. But of course, everything that we offer is available in different colors with different modules. And we'll talk about it when we get to this beauty.
Yes, for sure. Let's go ahead.
The first thing I want to talk about before we unveil this is why. When we got to know each other in 2015, I believe, 2016, Danish, first release was in 2018.
Yep.
We quickly embarked on a mission. We asked ourselves, what would happen if we get experts from the boating industry and experts from the luxury car industry to talk to each other? What if we drop all barriers? You know, scrap not invented here syndrome, and just get our heads together, our teams together, engineers, designers, product experts, and ask them, how can you bring your knowledge, your expertise, your savvy from cars to boats? What can we learn from boats to cars?
And during these 7 years, I would say that the way our teams are working together is that we're getting more and more BRABUS into the boats. And as an integral part of the development of any new model, we always know in advance it's going to be BRABUSized at some point. So having this from the starting point to be able to offer 2 different platforms for 2 different clientele, that is exciting.
And it's something that hadn't been done before.
No.
That's what we were trying to achieve, platform strategy, so share costs in development, in hull lamination, in central key elements of the boating experience, but still engineer every single boat to be 2 different versions of itself.
Yes.
And so far, we've been trying to prove ourselves wrong. We started out with the Shadow 800 in 2018. We progressed with its successor, the Shadow 900 in 2020.
Yeah, something like that.
Some of you are going to correct me later. Yeah. Its smaller sibling, the Shadow 500 series, of course, the Shadow 300, and now we always had one idea, and that was a boat that we've been talking about since, I believe, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I think the boat we're showing you guys today, the Shadow 1200 cross cabin, a 45-foot BRABUS Marine Shadow, is the biggest single BRABUS 1 second wow effect on the water that we've ever built.
Yeah. In terms of sheer volume, sheer size, sheer presence, it's a proper 100% BRABUS. It's the most BRABUS product we have ever made, ever done. And once it's revealed, you will also see what the product is all about.
Let's talk a bit about design.
Yeah.
So, whenever we design a product at BRABUS, we have a single mission. And that single mission, today the mission of BRABUS is what we call the BRABUS 1 second wow. What does it mean? It means that every single product we do, whether it's a boat, a motorbike, a car, but of course here especially we're talking about the boats, needs to be explaining itself. You need to see it, recognize it as a BRABUS within a second, have a visceral emotional reaction, a wow reaction to it, and ideally want to have it in 1 second. There is no second chance for a first impression, and so every design we create needs to speak for itself. That's the main mission, and that was also the mission for the Shadow 1200.
Yes. And now combined with the triple engines, Mercury V10 racing engines, this, for a 45-foot boat, the whole essence is that it's a big behemoth of a boat, but for the handling, it feels very, very nimble to handle and drive. So there is no intimidation in that sort of getting into a 45-foot boat or even driving the 55 knots that the boat is doing. It's all about being able to do 40 knots cruising speed in more or less any sort of weather and just enjoying a perfect day out at sea. And also to have the functionality, because every luxury product in our retrospect needs to have the essence of luxury, but it also needs to have the functionality. That is where luxury actually becomes luxury to me.
Let's quickly talk about the specs. 45 foot long, 1,200 horsepower, triple engine, triple Mercury engines.
Yes, with the joystick piloting makes the maneuvering of the boat super easy.
Yep, 16 passengers max.
Yes.
2 sliding roofs, sliding doors.
Five different social areas on board, all the cool gadgets that you found on the Axopar 45, but now completely Brabusized. And this is a boat you really need to get on board to see, because there is so much Brabusizing going on, and there will be new features you have not seen before.
And I would invite you, before we reveal this, please go ahead, walk onto both boats, compare them. The 37 is going to remain our core day boat. The 45, 7 feet longer, is a whole different world. It's a boat you can go on vacation with for a week with 4 people easily.
Yes.
It is so much bigger, it's got so much more volume, and it's a vision that we've been chasing for 7 years.
And driving long distances, so having a drive to Sicily from Spain or anything, you can do long distance drives if you want in full comfort. But let's not keep the people waiting anymore. Let's go for the reveal of the BRABUS Shadow 1200 Black Ops Signature Edition masterpiece.
Here we go. This is it.
This is it.
As we just said, I hope it speaks for itself. Now it's time to ask questions, touch, feel, get on board, have a detailed look, ask us a ton of questions.
We will be here, and for those that need to run for the next press, thank you for coming. We will be here all the week to answer any of your questions, interviews, anything. So we're happy to see so many of you arriving and coming for the boat show and our 10-year anniversary. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.